Hollywood doesn't always write scripts. Sometimes they project ancient archetypes. You know, the devil doesn't actually make you evil. It just gives you permission. All right, so let's dive right in. The horns, they symbolize forbidden knowledge, just like Lucifer providing the fruit, right? It's giving people awareness. Lucifer, light bringer, truth revealer, not a devilish cartoon. Okay, now if you think about the archetype that he's playing, he's not evil in its function, but he exposes dark truths, right? Which society will label as evil. Do you understand? So now, when the horns grow, he doesn't become the devil. He becomes the one that sees through the illusions that people cast. That is crazy. As the House of Mirrors, I just want to point out to y'all, this literally shows you the truth about society. See, when people are near him, right, they confess their selfish desires, their inner violence, their carnal sexual impulses, their hatred, right? And these people even start to act out these things when they're around him. Now, this is literally a projection, illusion, collapse, but he's the only one that sees it. As soon as people turn around, they forget what's happening to them. They don't remember. You see what I'm saying? So it's what people present versus what they actually are. You could actually see this mirror to the digital age of social media. But hold on. This film is literally projecting and telling the truth when it shows you if everybody was forced to expose their internal dialogue, society will literally collapse overnight. You know what I find very fascinating, biblically speaking, and in terms of this movie, the devil works for God, bro. That's just what it is. You can see that with the book of Job, which is insane. What type of God does that? But let's keep going. So he's falsely accused, right? The devil is created through accusation and presumption, okay? Because people treat him like a monster. They isolate him. Society then turns on him. And then what happens? He becomes exactly what they see. This is actually a reverse ritualistic initiation spiritually, because there's the projection, then they label him, then they isolate him, and then he transforms. Okay, so some systems, right, they use the same thing. Cancel culture, media trials, public shaming. Society creates the villain, and then they punish him. This is literally to be a high-level celebrity, bro. Now, his girlfriend was the only truth, the real only light in this dude's life. She represents innocent, truth, emotional grounding. Once she dies, she then starts to represent the death of meaning in a corrupted system. See, he wasn't really aware and conscious that the system was corrupt until she passed and he developed these abilities, right? Was this a curse or actually a blessing? I guess that's for you to decide. But after all of this happens, the truth doesn't actually matter and the narrative takes over. Y'all want to know what the real demonic force is? It's not even supernatural, bro. It's literally human nature without consequences. Human nature without consequences is the demon, bro. And it's all in your subconscious. But the horns remove the shame, the guilt, the social rules, the fear of being judged. People just didn't even care around him, bro. And what comes out of it? What are people really capable of? That's what it shows you. Now let's step outside of the niche. Let's step outside of my brand. I want to go meta. Post Harry Potter, Daniel Radcliffe literally chooses roles about being misunderstood, demonic roles, roles about identity distortion, roles about society turning on an individual. That's literally not random, bro. That's calculated. It's a continuation of what happens when the world decides who you are. Y'all thought he was just Harry Potter, but nah, he grew horns. I'll leave you with this. Horns doesn't show you demons. It shows you what people look like after they stop pretending that they're not one.